Are you curious about the sandwiches that once dominated American lunchboxes, from quirky mid-century creations to timeless classics? Today we're taking a deep dive into the past to rediscover the flavors that shaped a whole generation of Americans, from those that will make you crave a taste to those that might make you raise an eyebrow in surprise. Get ready for an emotional culinary journey back to the old days, our grandparents' time. Mock chicken sandwich. Can you believe there was a time when the chicken we ate had no real chicken at all? The mock chicken sandwich was born during the Great Depression, when money was tight and meat was a luxury not everyone could afford. That was a period where resourcefulness and resilience were evident in every aspect of life, especially in every family's kitchen. Homemakers of that era, with incredible ingenuity, combined incredibly simple ingredients to create a surprisingly delicious flavor. They used finely chopped tomatoes, beaten eggs, grated cheese, onions, and common herbs, mixed with butter and spices. This mixture was then sandwiched between two slices of bread, creating a dish with a texture and flavor that mimicked chicken so well that many children at the time truly believed they were eating real chicken. This sandwich not only saved money, but was also a powerful testament to the make-do spirit that became a way of life in that difficult era. It brings a nostalgic feeling about a part of culinary history where creativity transcended all limits. The mock chicken sandwich gradually disappeared as real chicken became more accessible and common later on. But its memory lives on in the hearts of those who lived through that period. Tongue sandwich. Imagine sitting in a traditional Jewish deli or a classic European-style diner, and on the table is a sandwich rich with the flavors of history. That's the tongue sandwich, a signature dish of its time. Beef tongue, an ingredient that sounds unusual to many today, was an important part of immigrant cuisine in the 19th and early 20th centuries because it was an economical and nutritious meat. To prepare this dish, beef tongue was simmered for hours with spices like garlic, bay leaves, and peppercorns until the meat melted in your mouth. Then, thin slices of flavorful beef tongue were tucked into traditional rye bread or crispy rolls. This dish was often served with pungent mustard, zesty horseradish, or crunchy pickles, creating a truly unique flavor combination. The tongue sandwich wasn't just a meal. It represented the richness and sophistication of slow-cooked beef tongue. More notably, it was even recommended in World War II food preservation programs as a way to maximize resources. Although less common today due to changing tastes, it is still cherished by offal enthusiasts as a memory of rich and meaningful meals. Fried Spam sandwich. Do you remember the legendary cans of Spam that once saved an entire generation from hunger? During World War II, when fresh food was scarce and protein became precious, the fried Spam sandwich became a staple meal in many American households. Canned Spam, launched in 1937, was a true game-changer because it was cheap, easy to store, and didn't require refrigeration, making it extremely convenient during wartime. To make this dish, slices of Spam were fried until crispy, then sandwiched with gooey cheese, pungent mustard, or creamy mayonnaise between two slices of toasted bread. This sandwich was more than just a filling meal. It was a powerful symbol of resourcefulness and resilience during that difficult period. It was even dubbed the meat that won the war for its important role in feeding the Allied forces. After the war ended and fresh meat became more common, this sandwich faded into obscurity. However, canned Spam continues to appear in modern culinary variations today, especially in Hawaii with the famous Spam musubi, reminiscent of a time when culinary creativity was key to overcoming hardship. Sloppy Joe. If you've ever been to an American school cafeteria in the 40s or 50s, you surely can't forget the rich, appealing taste of the Sloppy Joe. This sandwich, with its origins still debated, possibly appearing in 1917 in Cuba or created in Iowa in the 1930s, quickly became a staple in American kitchens. Sloppy Joe is made from ground beef, onions, tomato sauce or ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, and a distinctive spice blend, all slow-cooked to meld the flavors together. Then, this rich, meaty mixture is generously scooped onto a soft hamburger bun, creating an affordable, easy-to-make, and flavorful meal. It became so popular that it turned into a national dish in school cafeterias and family meals, due to its convenience and appeal. Children especially loved its hearty flavor and fun, messy way of eating it. By the 1950s, canned Sloppy Joe mixes like Man-Wich introduced this dish into mainstream American cuisine, making it more accessible than ever. Although it may no longer be the star it once was, the Sloppy Joe remains a symbol of convenience and a taste of childhood for many Americans. Bacon and peanut butter sandwich. You might be surprised to hear about this combination, but in the 1950s and 1960s, the bacon and peanut butter sandwich was a bold and beloved dish. This is a typical example of American culinary creativity, where seemingly unrelated ingredients created an irresistible harmony. Creamy peanut butter was spread onto soft bread or crispy toast. Then, crispy strips of bacon were piled on top, offering a salty flavor and characteristic crunch. To add more interest, some versions also included banana slices for natural sweetness, and could even be drizzled with honey, or a sprinkle of cinnamon to enhance the flavor. This combination offered a bold, sweet, salty, and rich experience, creating a hearty and energizing meal. It's rumored that Elvis Presley was not only a fervent fan, but also helped popularize this dish, making it a part of rock and roll culture. Although this dish gradually faded over time, the combination of peanut butter and bacon remains a favorite among many, reminding us of adventurous pairings from the past. Among the sandwiches mentioned, which one brings back the most memories for you? Or is there one you're curious to try again right now? Share your story in the comments below. Peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich. Let's turn back time to the 1920s, especially in the American South in the early 1930s, when the peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich became a familiar meal. Sounds strange, right? But this is a testament to the resourcefulness and culinary creativity of that era, especially in the difficult context of the Great Depression. This sandwich was made from rich, creamy peanut butter combined with smooth mayonnaise, creating an unexpectedly balanced flavor. This combination was not only unique, but also incredibly cheap yet nutritious, providing essential protein and fats, especially important when fresh meat wasn't always available. Furthermore, these ingredients didn't require refrigeration for storage, making it an ideal choice for families. This sandwich clearly demonstrated the frugal and creative spirit of Americans at the time, as they sought every way to put satisfying meals on the table. Today, this dish has declined in popularity due to changing tastes and the emergence of many new food options, but it remains an interesting memory of a bygone era. Cheese and Marmite sandwich. If you've ever lived in England or have English friends, you'll be familiar with Marmite, a condiment that is equally loved and hated. The cheese and Marmite sandwich is a British classic, but it has also crossed borders to become a nostalgic flavor for many British Americans, or those who have experienced British culinary culture. The combination of the creamy richness of cheese with the salty, deep umami flavor of Marmite, often served on whole wheat or soft white bread, creates a distinctive, unmistakable taste. For many, this is more than just a sandwich. It's a slice of nostalgic childhood, reminiscent of school lunches or cozy afternoon teas. Moreover, Marmite is very rich in B vitamins, which was especially valuable during wartime food rationing, when nutrition was a top priority. The great thing is that this sandwich has stood the test of time and continues to please its fervent fans, proving the timeless appeal of familiar flavors. Chicken liver sandwich. In the 1950s, as post-war America boomed, the chicken liver sandwich became a beloved dish. Unlike many quick sandwiches of that time, this one required patience and care to prepare, making it a more special meal. Chicken livers were marinated in a mixture of salt, garlic, and lemon juice to remove any gamey smell and enhance flavor, then cooked until tender and soft. These delicious chicken liver slices were layered onto toasted wheat bread, served with creamy mayonnaise, crispy iceberg lettuce, and fresh tomatoes. Organs like liver were widely used at that time, not only for their affordability, but also for their high nutritional value, providing protein and essential vitamins for a nation in recovery and development. However, as American tastes gradually shifted towards simpler, more convenient meals, the chicken liver sandwich slowly declined in popularity. Nevertheless, for those who once enjoyed it, this remains a flavor reminiscent of the sophistication and appreciation for every ingredient in the cuisine of a bygone era. Monte Cristo sandwich. If you love the combination of sweet and savory, you will surely feel a sense of regret that the Monte Cristo sandwich is no longer as popular as it once was. This is an American classic beloved in the mid-20th century, considered a captivating variation of the famous French croque monsieur. The Monte Cristo combines ham and cheese by dipping them in an egg batter, sometimes pancake batter. Then the sandwich is pan-fried or deep-fried until golden brown and crispy on the outside, with melted cheese inside. To add a touch of elegance, it is often sprinkled with powdered sugar and served with maple syrup or fruit preserves for dipping, creating a perfect blend of savory and sweet, offering a feeling of indulgent luxury. The Monte Cristo gained fame when served at Disneyland's Blue Bayou restaurant, and was named by the Brown Derby restaurant in Los Angeles, linking it to joyful and luxurious memories. This dish has evolved over time with many variations, adding turkey, 2 slices of bread instead of 3. The Monte Cristo remains a tempting dish, recalling special meals and memorable moments of a bygone era. Egg and sardine sandwich. Sounds like a rather intense combination, doesn't it? But in the early 20th century, especially the 1920s, when fresh meat was expensive and not easily found, the egg and sardine sandwich became a popular and practical meal solution. This is a prime example of people's resourcefulness in utilizing available food sources. To make this dish, hard-boiled eggs were mashed with canned sardines, creating a rich and nutritious mixture. Mustard, mayonnaise, or chopped onions could be added for extra flavor. Then, this mixture was thickly spread onto bread, forming a practical and protein-rich meal, providing a filling and nutritious solution for everyone. Canned fish in general, and sardines in particular, were among the cheapest protein sources, especially important during World War I and the Great Depression. This dish declined in popularity in the 1960s as fresh and conventional meats became more accessible, but it remains an interesting memory of how people created dishes to overcome difficulties. Deviled ham sandwich. If you've ever eaten canned goods from the late 19th to early 20th century, you'll surely remember the deviled ham sandwich, a convenient and beloved dish. The name deviled here refers to the spicy, flavorful taste of the dish. Finely ground ham was mixed with creamy mayonnaise, mustard, and spicy seasonings like hot sauce or cayenne pepper, creating a rich and distinctive blend. This mixture was often spread on bread with crisp lettuce or pickles for added flavor and crunch. Its popularity was largely thanks to the William Underwood Company, which introduced canned deviled ham in 1868 with their characteristic Red Devil logo. Its long shelf life was a major advantage, making it a convenient choice in times when refrigerators were not yet common. This dish was also heavily promoted during wars, Spanish-American, World War II, as a military ration, demonstrating its practicality. Potted meat sandwich. Before refrigerators became common in every household, food preservation was a major challenge. That's why the potted meat sandwich became widely popular in the early 20th century. This was not just a dish, but also an important preservation technique that had existed for centuries. Meat was slow cooked until tender, then packed and sealed with a thick layer of fat to keep it fresh longer. This meat mixture was then thickly spread onto buttered bread, sometimes with mustard, pickles, or onions for added flavor. This sandwich was a practical and filling meal, providing necessary nutrients during times when fresh meat was scarce. It represented human ingenuity in adapting to living conditions and maximizing available resources. Gradually, as refrigeration technology and fresher options became common, the potted meat sandwich slowly disappeared from daily meals. However, for many seniors, it remains a memory of simple yet satisfying meals, recalling a time when convenience and sustainability were prioritized. Banana and mayonnaise sandwich. The banana and mayonnaise sandwich is a fascinating relic of mid-20th century Southern American cuisine, especially popular in the 1950s and 1960s. Although it sounds quite odd today at the time, it was a beloved dish for its convenience and unique flavor. This dish is surprisingly simple. Soft white bread was spread with a thick layer of mayonnaise, then topped with sweet, fresh banana slices. The contrast between the creamy, slightly tangy mayonnaise and the natural sweetness and smooth texture of the banana created an unexpectedly harmonious combination for many. This was a product of convenience and affordability, reflecting post-war America's shift towards easily accessible and quick foods. For many who grew up in the South, this was a taste of childhood, reminiscent of quick lunches or after-school snacks. Over time, this dish gradually faded as food tastes changed, but it remains an interesting testament to the diversity and sometimes strangeness of American nostalgic cuisine. Creamed corn sandwich. You might never have thought of putting creamed corn in a sandwich, but in the mid-20th century, the creamed corn sandwich was a popular choice, especially for those seeking a quick and affordable lunch. It's a great example of how basic pantry ingredients could transform into a filling and complete meal. Creamed corn was generously spread on buttered bread, often served with cheese, fresh greens, and herbs for added flavor. Sometimes this dish was also lightly grilled or pressed in a panini maker to create a crispy texture and melt the cheese. Its popularity increased during the World War II food rationing years, when families needed easy-to-make, inexpensive meals that still provided nutrition. It offered comfort and satiety with little effort, requiring only a few basic pantry items. Currently, this dish has gradually disappeared from mainstream menus due to changing culinary trends, but it remains a special flavor for those who grew up with it, recalling simple yet warm lunches of the past. Cucumber sandwich. If you appreciate elegance and sophistication, you will surely value the cucumber sandwich, a timeless classic with deep roots in Victorian English tea culture. This dish was embraced by America in the early 20th century, becoming an indispensable part of tea rooms and elegant light parties. Thinly sliced cucumbers, lightly salted to draw out moisture and enhance flavor, were neatly arranged between soft, crustless white bread, spread with butter or creamy cream cheese. This dish was not only delicious but also had an elegant appearance, symbolizing the leisurely sophistication and elegance of afternoon teas. Its cool and refreshing appearance was once a luxury during hot months before widespread refrigeration, helping to cool down and provide a light feeling. Although tastes have changed, the cucumber sandwich still maintains its timeless appeal, continuing to be a symbol of elegance and a nostalgic dish for those who love afternoon tea culture. Looking back at these unique and creative sandwiches, are you ready to try their flavors again? Share your thoughts in the comments. Cheese Dream Sandwich. Who doesn't love a hot, crispy grilled cheese sandwich? The Cheese Dream Sandwich is a nostalgic dish that appeared in the early 1900s and quickly became a staple in American households, especially during the Great Depression and World War II. It was a simple yet effective solution to create a filling and delicious meal. This dish was made by melting thin slices of American cheese on buttered bread, then grilling until golden and bubbling attractively. Sometimes a little honey was added for sweetness, toasted breadcrumbs for crunch, or sliced tomatoes for freshness. This was a clever way to create a filling meal using only basic pantry ingredients, demonstrating resourcefulness and creativity. This dish even appeared in government documents about nutritious meals for low-income households, showing its important role in ensuring nutrition for the population. Though time may pass, the Cheese Dream Sandwich remains a timeless treat, a symbol of comfort and warmth in the minds of many. Scrapple Sandwich. Have you ever heard of Scrapple? This is a mid-Atlantic classic, deeply rooted in the frugal and nose-to-tail cooking skills of the Pennsylvania Dutch. For those who grew up in this region, the taste of scrapple is an indispensable part of childhood. Scrapple is made by simmering pork scraps, often remnants after preparing other dishes, with cornmeal and spices, forming a loaf. Then, this loaf is sliced and pan-fried until crispy golden on the outside and soft on the inside, creating an interesting contrast in texture. This dish is often served with spicy mustard, horseradish, or a touch of sweet maple syrup, especially popular as a nutritious and hearty breakfast. The Scrapple sandwich honors the use-everything cooking tradition and ensures no part of the pig goes to waste, demonstrating ingenuity and respect for food. Scrapple is a nostalgic, comforting food, holding a special place in the hearts of those who love mid-Atlantic cuisine. Chicken and cranberry sandwich. Not just for Thanksgiving, the chicken and cranberry sandwich brought a creative blend of festive flavors and became popular in the late 20th century. It's a great example of how to utilize abundant ingredients to create a fresh and appealing dish. Tender roasted or grilled chicken is thinly sliced, then combined with fresh cranberry sauce, creating a perfect balance between the savory chicken and the sweet tart cranberry. To add richness, this dish can include creamy brie cheese, soft goat cheese, or a layer of mayonnaise. Crispy lettuce or sliced apples are also often added for crunch and freshness. This dish is often served on toasted artisan bread, elevating the flavor and dining experience. The chicken and cranberry sandwich is a creative icon of how families turned holiday abundance into practical, flavorful, everyday meals. Although less common than the simpler turkey sandwich, it remains a wonderful choice for those who want a bit of festive flavor all year round. Spam and pineapple sandwich. Following the appearance of the fried Spam sandwich, another bold and adventurous combination was born: the Spam and pineapple sandwich. This is a clear example of the resourcefulness and creativity of mid-century American cuisine, when Spam was a kitchen staple and people weren't afraid to experiment with new flavors. This dish combines crispy fried Spam slices with their distinctive savory taste, with the tropical sweetness of pineapple rings. Some variations also include honey, teriyaki sauce, or a touch of mustard to add depth to the flavor. You can even add melted cheese, banana slices, or buttered toast to create a complete and appealing meal. The Spam and pineapple sandwich embodies the post-war fascination with tropical flavors and convenient cooking. It's also a symbolic celebration of America's relationship with Hawaii after its statehood in 1959, bringing a fresh breeze into mainland cuisine. This remains a nostalgic yet adventurous dish, reminiscent of a time when culinary creativity knew no bounds. Anchovy paste sandwich. Are you a fan of rich umami flavor? In the 1950s and 1960s, the anchovy paste sandwich was a distinctive dish, associated with mid-century pop culture and considered a sophisticated adult food. Although less common today, at the time it had a special elegance. This dish is made from a rich, flavorful paste by mixing anchovy fillets with breadcrumbs, milk, olive oil, and pepper. This mixture is then spread thickly on buttered toast, and thinly sliced cucumbers can be added to balance the flavor. The rich, savory umami flavor of anchovies made this dish stand out and was considered luxurious and sophisticated in the 1950s to 60s. Notably, it was featured in Ian Fleming's 1960 James Bond short story, further adding to the dish's elegance and mystery. Today, the anchovy paste sandwich has faded from mainstream popularity, but it remains a nostalgic flavor for those who love classic cuisine and stories of a bygone era. Pimento cheese sandwich. When talking about Southern American cuisine, you cannot miss the pimento cheese sandwich, a classic with deep roots in early 20th century American culinary history. This dish is not just a sandwich, but also a part of Southern culture and tradition. Pimento cheese is a creamy mixture of mayonnaise, warm milk, grated cheddar cheese, and diced pimento peppers, all mixed to create a rich, savory, and slightly spicy spread. This mixture is then generously spread on soft bread or toast, creating a simple but flavorful meal. This dish was popular for decades, reminiscent of cozy picnics, church gatherings, and fun tailgates. It's also known as the caviar of the South, due to its popularity and special place. Notably, pimento cheese is also famous at the Masters tournament, where it is an iconic dish. Though time passes, the pimento cheese sandwich remains a beloved dish in many families, proving the enduring appeal of traditional flavors. Mock ham salad sandwich. During the Great Depression, when everything was scarce and saving money was a top priority, families became incredibly creative in the kitchen. The mock ham salad sandwich was one such creation, a clever solution for a delicious meal without real ham. This dish is a cost-effective alternative to traditional ham, using ground bologna or leftover cold cuts mixed with mayonnaise, pickles, mustard, and seasonings. Its main purpose was to recreate both the flavor and texture of traditional ham salad, using easily available and low-cost ingredients. The mock ham salad sandwich was considered an unsung hero of the 1940s lunch table, providing filling meals and familiar flavors for families. Today, it has faded from mainstream menus, but this dish remains a part of the memory of a generation's resourcefulness and resilience, a testament to boundless creativity in cooking. Victory sandwich. After World War II, as America began its recovery, optimism and resilience permeated even everyday meals. The victory sandwich was a culinary symbol of resilience and ingenuity during this period. It was not just a meal, but also a message of unity and hope. This sandwich typically featured buttered or mustard spread bread, accompanied by cold cuts, cheese, or preserved vegetables, depending on what was available during those uncertain times. Notably, it often included vegetables from victory gardens that people planted themselves to supplement food sources during wartime. The victory sandwich represented the triumph of creativity over limitation, demonstrating the ability to adapt and utilize all available resources. Patriotic cookbooks promoted these sandwiches as part of morale-boosting meals, helping people maintain energy and an optimistic spirit. Olive loaf sandwiches. In the mid-20th century, convenient cold cuts became an indispensable part of American lunches and picnics. Among them, the olive loaf sandwich was a deli classic and a unique choice. Olive loaf is a unique cold cut, a mixture of ground pork, beef, and thinly sliced green olives, creating a savory, slightly tangy flavor and an interesting texture. Slices of this meat were layered on fresh white bread or rye bread, often with rich mayonnaise or mustard, crisp lettuce, and sometimes a slice of cheese. This was a beloved lunch item, often accompanied by crispy potato chips or pickles. Olive loaf was one of the first cold cuts heavily advertised to housewives, emphasizing its convenience and uniqueness. Today, processed meats have declined in popularity, but olive loaf remains a nostalgic dish, reminiscent of simple yet flavorful lunches from a bygone era. Fish stick sandwiches. In the 1950s, when the concept of convenience food began to boom, the fish stick sandwich appeared and quickly became a classic. It was a symbol of culinary modernization and a change in American families' eating habits. Fish sticks were baked or fried until golden and crispy, then sandwiched between soft sandwich bread or toast with traditional tartar sauce, creamy mayonnaise, or familiar ketchup. This was a quick and convenient meal, very popular in school cafeterias. Notably, this dish was popular for Friday dinners in Catholic families, when abstaining from red meat was observed. The fish stick sandwich was not just a meal, but also a memory of the simplicity and convenience of childhood meals, when a quick but delicious dinner was something everyone longed for. Although there are more options today, this dish still holds a special place in the hearts of those who grew up with it. Looking back at this culinary journey, is there any snack or ingredient from your childhood that you wish you could find its original taste again? Share your memories in the comments. And that concludes our journey through 25 forgotten American sandwiches. Each dish is more than just a recipe. It's a slice of an era, a story of ingenuity, innovation, and a love for food across different times. Although culinary trends have changed, these classic sandwiches still hold a special charm, bringing back memories of meals and memorable moments from the old days. We hope this culinary journey brought you many memories and emotions. Which sandwich among these brings back the most memories for you? Or do you have any family recipes you'd like to share? Please leave a comment below. This video with friends who also love nostalgic American food and history. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video to explore more interesting things from the past together.